If you got stopped out today, okay, hypothetical, imagine you just got stopped out. You hit your daily stop, you're frustrated, you're emotional, you've lost money, okay? There is a very high probability you'll come in tomorrow and you will under risk as a result of losing today. That's a fact. And we call that a bias. If you execute a specific trade strategy very well today, and it's the third time in a row that you've won on this trade, do you know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day when that trade comes up again? You are likely to risk more than 100% of what you risked on the first 3 trades. In other words, the 4th time that trade comes, you are going to be over risking by at least 100%. This is a bias. These things happen. Okay, trading biases are a real thing. Now, in the context of trading, biases are generally considered to be undesirable. Why? Because they cloud our judgment and they lead to suboptimal decision making. Okay, think of the first one I just told you. You just got stopped out. Tomorrow, instead of using 5 lots, you use 4. The trade wins, but the reality is you've left money on the table. You've made a suboptimal decision. Okay. Now, biases prevent us traders from objectively assessing market conditions, analyzing the data, and ultimately executing trades based on sound analysis and strategy. Okay. When biases influence our trading decisions, what happens? We miss trades. We start to take excessive risk. We exit trades too soon, or we hold on to losing trades for too long, or even worse, we start to double down. Okay. We start averaging. These outcomes negatively impact our trading performance and profitability. Now, note, biases are a natural part of our human psychology. Okay, we all have them. Doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it, biases exist. Okay, we're all susceptible to them as well to some degree. Now, the more experience you have at recognizing your biases, the less of an impact they can have. Why? Because you're very alert to them. In other words, I know myself that if I have a really big down day, typically the very next morning, I won't trade for the first couple of hours. Okay, because I'd rather not trade than be subject to my biases. Okay, that's a practical protocol I've implemented because I know that bias exists. So the more experienced you are, the more of these protocols you'll implement to sidestep the biases in the first place. Okay, now as a result, as you can imagine, the more of these biases you're alert to and aware of, the more you can sidestep them and the less of an impact they'll have. Okay, recognizing and acknowledging biases is the first step towards managing them effectively. So traders who are aware of their biases can take proactive measures to minimize the impact. Okay, now ultimately the goal is to strive for objectivity. Okay, we want to be as close to 100% objective and rational as possible. That is our goal as traders, right? We just simply want to make decisions off of data, off of our analysis, off of our trading plan. That's what we want to do as best as possible, okay? So to get rid of these biases, or at least to mitigate the risk of these biases, we have to implement protocols that stop them from impacting our trading. And this is one of the key things behind every single one of the trading tools built within the Tradelo application. They are there to prevent the biases from costing you money. Okay, sure, the biases still exist, but as I'm going to show you in an example, if the risk manager says buy 5, it doesn't matter how I feel in the morning. Maybe I'm overconfident, maybe I'm nervous. It doesn't matter, because guess what? The risk manager sees nothing other than I must give him a mathematical outcome. Okay, it's not subject to biases like I am as a human. Now, sure, I might not follow the risk manager and I might, be completely crazy and still do my own thing. But the reality is, when I've got a systematic approach that's helping me sidestep and avoid biases that are going to impact my decision making, what's the direct result of that? Well, guess what? I get all the upside. I get to mitigate the bias and I keep all the upside from it. Okay, so it's not about eradicating biases. It's about having a system in place that's going to say this bias exists. Therefore, with this tool, with this, this application, ultimately, I can avoid the impact that comes with that bias in the first place. Now, there are many biases. Okay, in front of you are 10 biases. You've probably heard of some of them, most of them, and some of them you've probably never heard of, and that's fine. What I suggest you do is make sure you take a picture of this and go read up about these biases. And go and write next to them, oh, okay, I remember that time this happened to me. I didn't even realize that was a bias in the first place. Okay, the best place to start with any bias is to first and foremost begin to understand exactly what they mean and see yourself experiencing those biases in your own trading. Now, There are 4 very common biases that I've seen every single Tradelo trader succumb to, and that's why all 4 of these biases are solved within the Tradelo application. Okay, if it affects everyone, you might as well develop a solution for it. All right, that is why ultimately we look at biases so closely. And I'm going to show you what those 4 biases are, and we're going to start off with the first one, which is ding, 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 overconfidence bias. Okay, this is one that unfortunately I've never met a trader that doesn't suffer from overconfidence bias. Okay, what is overconfidence bias? Well, it's simple. It's having an excessive belief in your own trading abilities, leading to taking on higher risks or overestimating potential profits. Okay, I see this time and time and time again, and the best way to look at it is as follows. If you asked a trader what is the probability of their trade succeeding, so you looked at it from a pure statistical perspective, and you said, what's the probability of your trade succeeding? And you go and compare that then to the risk that they allocate to the trade. You will almost never see a trader that under risks relative to the probability. Okay? Why? Because unfortunately traders are naturally optimists. We always believe our trade will work, and therefore we're always naturally over risking on all of our trades. Okay, so every trader suffers from overconfidence bias, some more than others. Now, one of the perfect charts to look at is the one in front of you, which is what we call a profitability heat map. And it's very simple. If your trade is in the red, it means, guess what? You lose money on that trade. Now, if you know that you are losing money on a trade, right, you have to be pretty stupid to ultimately keep over risking on that trade. Okay. Moreover, you can see that if your probability of winning on a trade is only 40%, you need to be betting according to that probability. Okay. You use risk management. You align the risk management with the odds of winning. That way, sure, your expectancy is probably still going to be negative, but you're not going to drain capital unnecessarily from your trading. Okay, so that's the first bias that exists in every trader, is overconfidence bias. The next bias that exists is loss aversion bias. Again, every trader experiences this. The loss aversion bias is the tendency to feel the pain of losses more intensely. Okay, we always feel losing more intensely. It's a natural, primitive, instinctive reaction, so don't worry about it. It's sort of embedded within your primitive brain. And ultimately, it can lead to us holding on to losing trades for far too long, or exiting winning trades. Okay, how often are we getting out of our targets too soon, afraid for the trade to come back? Okay, so loss aversion bias is common in every single trader. And one of the key charts that I love to show to traders so often is, because sometimes traders will say to me, oh yeah, I'm not afraid to lose money. You know, I don't mind. I don't feel emotional when I put trades on. And I'll tell them, oh, go on, get up your size effectiveness chart for me. Now, what a size effectiveness chart does is very, very clever. It plots ultimately how much you risk per trade versus how effective you are with additional risk. In other words, if you think about the x-axis as ultimately how much you're risking per trade. Let's say this was $50 and $100 and $150 and $200. Okay, what this is showing you is, as you are risking more and more on a trade, what ultimately are you doing in terms of your targets? Are you still, with that trade strategy, making the same amount of profit as you were? And what typically you'll see in almost every trader early in their career is a downward sloping line. In other words, as they bet more on a trade, they're typically snatching a trade. They're getting out of trades sooner than expected, and they're not actually following the process any longer. Why? Because they suffer from loss aversion bias. Okay, wonderful chart that really just exposes the true nature of our bias. The third bias that we're going to cover is anchoring bias. And again, this is not one that many traders hear of. It's not a common, sort of Google search, top of the list kind of biases, but it's common in every trader, which is we typically give an undue amount of weight or importance to the first piece of information we encounter when making trade decisions. Okay, what this ultimately leads to, think about it. You come in the morning, and perhaps we've seen our market gap up, there's high volume, and we immediately place an idea in the market. We want to be bullish today because of X, Y, and Z. So our initial anchoring based on objective data is correct. Unfortunately, the amount of weight we give to it is incorrect. And what typically happens is we hold on to that overweighted, incorrect, objective information for just too long. And what it means is that Maybe we were bullish coming in and there's so much sell side objective information coming, big orders being sold, big bids being hit, market is kind of, stopping out all the buyers, and we're looking at it going, no, I'm still bullish, no, I'm still bullish, no, I'm still bullish. And very often what ends up happening is we have to kind of lose money before we get out of the trade, and then we look and we say, oh shit, if only I had seen that and not been so stuck or stubborn in my bullish thesis, I would have very quickly flipped my book. Okay. Now, anchoring bias is a very good trick or technique or methodology that is taught within the Tradelo application called characterization. And what this does is ultimately it allows you to see both sides of the spectrum. So this is how it works. Okay. Objectively, you come in, you're bullish because of X, Y, and Z. However, with that trade strategy that you're adopting, you also have what we call counter characteristics. In other words, these are the things I see that make me believe I'm bullish. These are the things I don't want to see, because if I do see them, I no longer want to be bullish. Okay? Now, having objective facts on both sides of the scale means we are no longer overweighting or anchoring ourselves to just the bullish objectives. And that's what you're seeing in front of you. You are seeing what we call textbook execution notes, which is the objective facts that lead me to believe this is going to be successful. And on the other side of the scale is these are the objective facts that make me think, you know what, I shouldn't be bullish anymore. And in actual fact, there's something else in this market that is leading it to be actually quite bearish. Okay? So by having these balanced objective facts, guess what? The anchoring bias still exists, but it's not going to impact as much because we are quicker to flip out of our bullish thesis into either a neutral thesis or even a bearish thesis. Okay? So we don't allow the anchoring bias to impact us as significantly. The final bias, the sunk cost fallacy. You all know this. Everyone suffers from this. Ultimately holding on to losing trades for too long because of the reluctance to accept losses. Oh, well, it's gone down so far now, I'm going to buy it. And you buy it, and the next thing it goes down another 2%. Well, do you know what? It went down so far, that's why I bought it. Now it's gone down even further. Surely, it's got to turn around now. And the next thing it's down even further. And then we buy some more. We're averaging. And suddenly it's down even further. And then we just stuck in it. We fully invested into the idea. We are no longer able or capable of seeing objective facts, okay? And this ultimately, this sunk cost fallacy is what leads to accounts blowing up, is what leads to those really big drawdowns in the account, okay? Now, how do we avoid that? It's very simple. It's called risk management, okay? A risk management tool, hands down, probably solves half of the biases that exist for all traders. Why? Because it's just a number. In other words, I come in the morning, I tell a system, look, I'm entering the S&P, I've got an open drive. The system just says, well, look, execute 3 lots. Okay, there is no ways in hell that I can be succumbing to a number of different biases unless I'm extremely ill-disciplined. Okay, now, it's not to say that you don't break protocol. We all do. Okay, I don't know a single Tradelo trader that hasn't broken the risk manager rules. Of course we still do, but to a much lesser degree. Okay, and moreover, ultimately, this is just going to ensure that you don't get stuck into this sort of idea of, it's gone that far, I'll keep adding and all that sort of thing, because the risk manager is updating in real time. Okay, it'll be shouting at you at the point where you just get out of the trade and neutralize. Okay, that then is the 4 key biases that we all suffer from. Okay, now, what's very important to stress before we move on to the next topic, we are not trying to pretend we don't have weaknesses. This is not what we're trying to do here. What we're trying to do is first recognizes that our weaknesses exist. We need to see that we do have biases. Okay, that's the first and most important thing as a trader. The second part is to implement a solution to avoid them. Okay, to sidestep them or to mitigate the impact of them. Right? Don't see a bias as a bad thing. See it as a thing that you need to safeguard yourself against. Why? Because otherwise it's going to impact your decision making.